Well, hey there, and welcome again to Tesla Northwest and EVs. You're joining me here in a rainy McMinnville, Oregon, as we're getting ready to head back to Washington State. So join us as we take full self-driving. We're still on version 11.3.3 up I-5 through Oregon, Portland, Vancouver, and then we're going to head through Seattle and all the way back to Anacortes. So should be a good drive, and I just appreciate you joining me. Hit that like and subscribe if you want some more, and I'll catch you on the flip side here at Tesla Northwest and EVs as we test version 11.3 full self-driving up I-5 North into Washington State. All right, folks, we are headed off. We're going to be headed up to Chehalis is going to be our first place, and it's a dreary Monday morning. So join us as we take full self-driving 11.3.3 up Interstate 5 North through Oregon, Portland, Vancouver, and various supercharging stops. And if we see cool stuff, we will bring that to you. And unfortunately, I'm in the wrong lane. I got busy talking and missed my turn, so I'll check back in a moment. All right, I got us turned around. I should have just engaged full self-driving right away. So again, thanks for joining us. It's engaged now. We're back in business, and this should be an interesting drive. It's going to be about 5.5 hours, including charging. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll bring you sights and scenes as things happen. Hopefully we'll get a lot of good footage today. So thanks, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Rolling down, looks like State Route 18 here in Oregon, just outside of McMinnville, and as you can see, looks like we're going to be dealing with weather again. We've got 130 miles to go to get to Chehalis. Car's at 85% state of charge, and we should pull in right about 15, 16%, maybe a little lower. And yeah, just gonna be kind of crappy weather and Oregon driving. So right now we're on some rural state routes, nothing too exciting, but as we get closer to Portland, or if I see some difficult maneuvers, I'll let you know, but we'll definitely be dealing with weather. And so far, Tesla Vision hasn't let us down, except for this giant pothole we hit right at the beginning of this trip. So anyway, we're holding tire pressure, and I'll make sure I don't have any dented rims when I get to the supercharger. We'll check back with you in a little bit, folks. Oh, look at this, here comes a Rivian. Hi, yay. All right, here we are merging onto 99 West towards Portland, and we're actually gonna take an interesting bypass route. So instead of staying on 99, so we're getting over big lane. I did that okay. Instead of taking 99 the whole way, we're going around and then getting on I-5 over here. So it must be quicker because there's more I-5. But like I said, autopilot, navigate on autopilot likes to take interesting routes. They're usually faster, but they can sometimes be a little bit scenic or just kind of strange. So we'll see how this one goes. Looks like our turn's in about 2.6 miles. Why am I going so slow? Oh, there's somebody up here in the turn lane. Oh, there's a pretty winery. Maybe they're going to get their vino on first thing in the morning on Monday. Or they're going to work. All right, good. It didn't try and dive off into this lane. It's done that in the past, but so far, so good. So we'll check back in a little bit. All right, so we are going to be making a left up here in just under a mile, and I thought I'd let you see this little stretch here. Looks like our truck is going to be joining us probably. I can't understand otherwise why I'd get over. Oh, it's the lane end. Okay. That makes sense. And you know, the car with this latest update has been handling these really wide lanes better. It seems to center itself in them instead of trying to hug the fog line or the center line. Typically it was more often than not the fog line. So it looks like we got a little bit of something interesting going on up here. Yeah, okay, so let's see how this goes. And like I said, this bypass must be a truck route, help get us onto I-5 faster. And navigate on autopilot's really pretty good about finding these kind of things. Okay, good speed. Nice follow distance. Now we should be following these fellas. Nicely done. And the car, I think, is going to hang out in this lane. I think that's perfectly okay. Yeah, good. So we got this big, wide, sweeping merge. Following behind this truck here in the car. I'm nudging the car along. Okay, now the car's back in control. Didn't like being behind this truck very much, I don't think. But that's okay. We're not in a big hurry. And you can kind of see, look at that, some weird shadowing where it thinks there's two trucks there. And if the truck can take this corner faster, then we should too. I'm going to give it a little goose. Alright, and we made it around, but I had to encourage it. That was kind of slow. And again, there must be some rule in there that tells it not to go a certain speed once you reach a certain amount of angle or lean into a turn. So we made it onto 18, the bypass route. It's called like the Dundee-Newberry bypass route. This will take us to I-5. That wasn't terribly done, but I did have to goose it a little bit. So anyway, we'll check back in if anything else interesting comes up as we head towards Portland. Looks like we got about 30 miles or so to go. And here we come up to the South St. Paul Highway. It's only been about 5 minutes, but we're making another interchange here. This one right. And this will take us, I do believe, to Interstate 5 North. Ugh, this weather. Now it's not really raining, but we're getting a bunch of mist off of this truck. Alright, so car should be getting us in the far right lane. Good. Looks like we're following our trucker buddy. Not bad. Didn't need to brake quite that hard. Good use of a blinker. Excellent. Let's see how bad it cuts this corner. Good. Oh, I'm going to be a truck sandwich. I got another Mack truck behind me. Alright, Amos, you need to pull up. And there's no sign that says no turn on red, no right turn on red, so I'm going to give it a little nudge. And Amos is going to go. Okay, so he would have sat there and waited for that light. I had to nudge him through, so I would call that a half intervention. We would have been sitting there pissing off everybody, and there was no sign that said we couldn't take a right on red. So there you go, one mistake, but now we just got a lot of straight. Well, we got a turn or a long sweeping curve up here in a little ways, but we'll check back in again as interesting things happen. Weather hopefully might clear up a little bit, and we'll keep following our trucker buddy. And we're approaching our next left here onto McKay Road Northeast. So again, Navigate on Autopilot's taking us this kind of convoluted route. So we got lots of turns right at the beginning of the drive. And we'll see how long that lasts. So we should be doing something interesting here. Probably have some cross traffic we'll have to navigate. And perhaps a turn lane. And the weather sucks. So let's see what happens. Got a Mazda behind us, but they're giving us a good amount of distance, so no worries. Slowing down nicely. We should be blinkering, and yep, there's our trucker buddy. Okay, good. That was nicely done. Now we have a big truck coming, and Amos would have enough time if he really wanted to go. Nice. Oh yeah, very, very well done. So it looks like we're rolling through a safety corridor for the next 7 miles. Fines double, so we're going to be careful. And we've got about 4 miles to go to our next stop, or our next turn. Oh, and let's see what it does with this digital sign here. Let's see if it picks up the trucker's speed. Nope, held it at what we want it to be at. So very good. If I see more digital speed signs, I'll bring those to you because I heard those might be an issue. And if we remember right, recommended speeds in the corners were an issue as well, so we'll be on the lookout for those. So we'll follow Trucker Buddy for the next 4 miles and see what happens when we get to Aileen Road Northeast. And we're just about to jump on Interstate 5 North, headed towards Portland. We should be in Portland in not too long. We're still following Trucker Buddy, so we'll see how our interstate merge goes. Looks like it's a relatively tight merge, so we're going to see what happens. I don't think it's a wishbone or anything, so might be a stop sign, might be a light. We'll find out, and then we'll be heading towards Portland, and we'll probably get into a little more interesting traffic up that way. Not that this isn't interesting. Eating mist off of semi-trucks is always awesome. And here's big Pape machinery, Kenworth. And if I'm not mistaken, Kenworth is owned by a great company right close to me named Packard. And they do lots of interesting work with trucks, including battery-powered trucks and doing automation with heavy haul trucks. Okay, coming into this little, looks like a little truck stop rest area type of place. And it's the end of the safety corridor, so we can go crazy again. It's always good. You would think every place would be a safety corridor, right? Like, you should be safe wherever we go. Some places, I guess it's extra important. And we did pass a whole bunch of farms, so I can kind of understand that, right? You probably got lots of implements popping in and out into traffic. That's kind of an interesting thing hanging off this lights. So there's a little hesitation because Amos couldn't see the lights above the truck. And it's almost a cheat because we're behind a truck, so he's got somebody to follow. Okay, moving around in the lane a little bit, maybe trying to get a look, I don't know. Slowing down way too much. Didn't need to do that. I had to give it a little goose. Alright, and yeah, he does need to stop for the truck, so that's good. Good blinker. I'm glad they get the blinkers to turn on earlier. That was a real pain. Okay, and the car can just go. Keep going, car. Go, car. Okay, I had to nudge it again. So, okay, interesting. Hey there, bud. Lee. Well, he did that okay, but he wanted to run. All right, let's see how we do merging into traffic here. For whatever reason, it thinks it's 35. There, it finally adjusted correctly. I've got a semi coming up on my left, and he's going to run out the whole lane. Golly, that is just that's not okay. In Oregon, they got really short merge lanes, but now we should be signaling to get over. Come on, buddy. Let's get over into this other lane. Nobody around us. Alright, I'm initiating a lane change. Again, not very impressed with FSD replacing autopilot, or this being the new autopilot, or whatever you want to call it. So anyway, there you go. I just had to initiate lane changes to get it over to the far left passing lane. It ran out the whole merge lane, and I had to goose it to get it to go around corners. The only thing it did right was not run into a Mazda that cut us off coming onto the on-ramp. So still frustrating. We'll see what it does as we continue through here. It is nice. It's scooched over for this big truck. That's nice behavior. So that's nice. Going down straight is comfortable. It's doing the maneuvers. It's doing the maneuvers that are sketchy, and it's the maneuvers that I want it to do. I mean, I like lane keep and cruise control, but I want it to full self-drive. All right, I got to couch my expectations, though. It's still doing way better than most people would have expected, and it's a much harder problem than anybody expected. So take it easy on FSD, Ryan, and let the Tesla team know they're doing an awesome job, and you guys are. So we'll check back in a little bit. As you can see, we got just a big straight shot. And as we go through Portland and we see the city of bridges, I'll show you some footage. So we're rolling through Wilsonville, a suburb of Portland. Traffic's relatively light. Just like in Washington, everybody kind of likes to camp in the left lane. I guess myself included, but I'm letting FSD drive today, so I will try and make it move over when I think it's appropriate. But otherwise, we're just cruising along here. Waiting to see if anything exciting happens, but it doesn't look like it. Wilsonville's not too bad, and we missed, I think, most of the commuter traffic, so we should be going through Portland and Olympia and Tacoma I had a pretty good time, so we should see some traffic, but it shouldn't be anything too intense. Oregon is the land of many license plates. It's like you're driving through here, and we like to see what states everybody's from. And so we see all these license plates, and we're like, oh, it's Oregon. Oh, which one? Oh, it's Oregon. Oh, what about, oh, Oregon. So, I love your guys' license plates, but they can be a bit confusing for drivers trying to play games, folks. What do we got out here on our left? Lead Tech. Kind of interesting looking building. Some light industrial through here. And this is what full self-driving does. It's bread and butter. Straight stretches of freeway, maintaining and following distance, auto lanes, and just getting us down the road. So if we see something a little more challenging for it, I'll let you know. Alright, we're just going to let things run as we cruise through here. Portland Airport's coming up, and there's some interchanges and whatnot, so I'll play a little music maybe as this goes, and we'll just see how things happen as we cruise through Portland here. Let the car do some stuff. You missed it. It made a lane change, and a person cut me off, so probably better I let the camera run. We'll just see what happens. White Acura's moving around in traffic pretty good. Maybe he's got autopilot too, and it was waiting until the last minute to dive off of an on-ramp or an off-ramp. I don't know why, but I get excited every time it scooches over now. Good job. Very lightly braking, because we got a speed change. So you do want to be on top of that. It doesn't really warn you that it's going to make a change either. I mean, not that maybe it should, but like you're tooling along at 75 and then all of a sudden you feel it braking and you don't know if it's phantom braking. You look and it's like, oh, it changed to 63. Look at this truck's getting awful close. Damn. And the behavior of the car does seem to make it reluctant to want to sit next to a truck, and that's good. I don't want to be next to a truck. I want to get by them, especially when you're more in the Midwest where you got the big gusts of winds, and they can just push these trucks right into you, and it's not the driver's fault. Now, if it was me, I'd get on the throttle just a little bit to get, oh good, here we go. On the throttle and get by this guy. Okay, very nice and done. So far, Portland traffic hasn't been too bad, so we haven't hit downtown Portland yet. It looks like I got an Audi e-tron behind me, so we're rolling EVs. The Best Western we stayed at in McMinnville. Highly recommend, great place. Another thing I've noticed and I love about Oregon is Burger King. It seems like Burger King is in every city in Oregon and in Washington. They're hard to find. So props to you guys for loving your BK. I like to have it my way too. Okay, things are opening up here. Probably not going to be too terribly exciting. Of course, as I say that, we'll probably miss something. Oh, there we go. Okay, that was well done. Navigate on AP would have dove on the brakes in the past. I'm not quite sure why that guy's in such a hurry that he had to do that. That's all good. Okay, very good. Nice acceleration. Very smooth operation. So there we got to see something a little bit exciting. Ideally, we would blinker to get over into this middle lane. So I'm going to go ahead and initiate. Alright. Bring us some more footage if something exciting comes up. Okay, literally we're just like a minute down the road, but I wanted you to see it make a lane change. It's very good. looks like we're going to be following our buddy in this Ford Platinum for a while, but again, very nicely done. It knew it needed to get over, and it did without any issues or no prompts from me. Seems to be the hardest part is getting it to go back, and you can see in my settings, I don't have it on minimal lane changes, and I don't have it set to sit in the left lane, so hopefully that is a little tick that they get fixed, because I have a pet peeve about people that camp in the left-hand lane if it's not necessary, and I really would hate it if my car did it. So. Ooh, look at that truck cutting up in there. Everybody's diving on their brakes. And not Amos. Amos is just slowing down nice and easy. Very good. Nice passenger comfort there. Well done. All right, we'll come up here. We'll roll through some of these corners and see what happens. Say the inconsistencies haven't been because of Amos, but because of the other driver's speeds. This might be a good chance to get over there. Watch this box truck. Okay, good. Good job. And it's someday maybe AP will be good enough for full self-driving to see, oh, I could go middle lane, right lane, pass this truck, get back in middle lane, and start jumping around in traffic. If maybe there'll be a Frogger mode or a aggressively want to get through traffic mode. Of course, ideally, if everybody's driving EVs, they'll all be able to tuck in nice and tight with one another, talk to one another, have much better reaction times, and so we shouldn't hopefully see traffic problems like we do with human drivers, because all of it's due to human drivers. They have done studies that show it takes one person hitting their brakes in a long string on the freeway to cause a chain reaction all the way down miles of traffic and slow everybody down. Nicely done. We got a straight stretch coming up. I'll turn the camera back on once we get into downtown Portland and start seeing some of the bridges. All right, we're coming into these Portland corners here. And then we'll be hitting the river pretty quick. Looks like we got a interchange in 2.5 miles. We'll see how it done. Notice I'm not in the left lane anymore. The car blinkered and got into this middle lane to follow the route, and I let it. It also has us going speed limit of 50, and yep, there's our speed limit of 50. Back just a little bit. And this isn't a terribly hard interchange, but it's a little weird, so let's see how it does as we come up here. Plus, we get a beautiful view of the city of Portland, which is an awesome city. Okay, car wants to make a change. We'll let it. We're going to watch these signs to make sure it doesn't make a mistake, because I don't want to miss my exit or my merge. And I will intervene for that, because I just don't have the patience to let it take me wherever, so be mindful of that. I'm on a road trip home today, so if it screws up, I'm going to take over. If I screw up, it's okay. But if the car screws up, oh no. Man, the speed limit's 55. Everyone's hauling. I don't want to be the slow guy, but I also don't want to be going too fast through here. Okay, car's a little leery about coming through this corner with this big truck next to it, but it's doing it just fine. Hugging the yellow line quite a bit. Not bad. Yeah, looks like we got some construction going on. Always growing. There's the beautiful city of Portland. Okay, the car is needing to get over. You need to get over, bud. Okay, it knows it needs to get over. It's accelerating. Nope, this is Portland. And okay, it did it. Great job, car. You cut a guy off, but you know what? That's what happens up here, I think. Yep, no, this is Portland. So you can see the tramway that goes over the I-5 there.
What is
It's like a gondola or a suspended basket.
Do you go on
Yeah, you can ride across.
it? I want to. That looks fun.
Well, you have to come visit Portland.
That looks fun.
All right, nicely done.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you'd see one right there coming across out your window. Okay, good job, car.
Wait, so are we in Washington?
Nope, we will be in just about 10 minutes though, and as you can watch here, we're going to go over this bridge. We'll be going over the Columbia. We'll go across the bridges a couple times.
I've been through here. My dad calls it the second Seattle.
It's bigger than Seattle, I do believe, but yeah, it is. It's a cool city. The city of bridges. Or is that Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? I don't remember. There's a lot of bridges in Portland though. There's some right there. We're going across one right here. Okay, we're hitting the brakes. I got a big old semi behind me.
I hate semis. It's scary.
He stopped okay. Yeah, look at all the bridges out through your window there. Okay, well done. Let's see if we can make it the rest of the way through here without intervening. So far, so good. The truck's giving me a good amount of space, but he's still going pretty quick. Okay, not bad. Plenty of follow distance, that's probably a good thing. Gives people a chance to cut in, but look how tight everybody's following each other up there. Alright, let's goose our speed back up here. Okay, that was good. Normally that's a bit nerve-wracking, but FSD made it through there just fine.
I fell asleep, so I thought we were in Seattle.
Oh no, you got a ways to go yet. Beautiful glass towers up there.
Imagine they break one size of it.
Imagine they have to spend a lot of time washing those. Tesla. And let's see, we're about 86 miles from our supercharger, 66% state of charge, and Amos is expecting to get in with about 18%. Stay in your lane, bud. All right, good. We're still rolling here. Everything's going good. Probably the most congestion we'll see until we get up back closer to Tacoma and Seattle, and even then it might not be too bad just because of the time of day we're rolling through. So here we're getting a really great example of FSD through city traffic on Interstate 5 North. Good. I've got it to not use HOV lanes when it's an FSD, but I'll linker it over and to get into it when we get up here. All right, so far so good. One more bridge to go across, which we're coming to right now. Or no, we already, that's the bridge we go across to get into Oregon, my bad. There's another one up here, but not the one I was thinking. All right, good, we're speeding back up. And we should be getting to Vancouver just about any time. Good. We're going to use the HOV lane in just a second. And then I think we will check back in with you in a little bit. Okay, we're rolling, folks. So looks like we don't got too much interesting. We'll be in Vancouver here in just about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll check back in with you if something exciting happens. All right, we're still in Oregon. I had to stop and go pee. So now we're going to get back on the freeway. car's creeping and looking. Oh, yeah, it's got a truck coming, buddy. And a car from the other direction. Alright, go ahead, Amos. Go ahead, Amos.
Oh my god, just fucking do it.
Go ahead. There, we finally made it. That was rough. Okay, we've got a green light, and these people have a green light. And this is the last exit before Washington State. So, let's see how we do. We gotta go to Seattle. That was a little jerky. Okay, good. So really crappy getting out on the surface streets. Going really way too slow through here. Cutting into the other lane. Nobody's coming. But, like, terrible job. And it thinks it's 25 miles an hour. Like, go, bro, go. Go.
Those chickens? Quit.
God, that was bad. I literally had a semi-truck behind me. Literally had a semi-truck behind me braking, trying to let me in. And now we've got a big giant truckload of chickens going into Washington in front of us. Good eye, Savannah.
Ew, and there's...
Why would we not be getting over? I initiated a lane change because we could get away from this truck. Again, come on, FSD, get over. Yeah, I had to intervene. Like, come on. Get us around these chickens. Yeah, we're in Washington, but that was a shit show getting in there. Sorry for the language right through there, but that was bad. Stay in your lane, truck. Jeez. All right, now it should get a little bit more normal. We're not quite so busy, and I don't know, that was weird. So thanks for joining us trying to get into Washington. We're here, we made it.
Yay.
So let's see what happens as we cruise through Amos's home territory here. So we've got our first speed limit sign. Let's see if it makes an appropriate change. And it did. Good. And this gentleman in front of us is doing a decent speed, so we'll check back in a little bit. Yeah, we're just outside of Vancouver, and traffic's just getting a little bit weird, so I thought I'd let you join me. I had a truck there that was wavering around in his lane. You can see we've got a knot of traffic up here with one car holding up everybody else, and everybody else is tailgating. I'm trying to manage my speed so I don't get frustrated by getting behind him, but looks like I'm not going to have much luck there. So anyway, gotta love Interstate 5 north and south. It's a real pain. Okay, there we go. Now people are speeding up. And this guy's going to cut me off. Thank you for doing that. Good follow distance, I have to say. I mean, that it is nice. The amount of distance a car keeps, it's very safe, but boy, it makes other people feel like they got this opportunity to just cut in front of you. Or people behind you think that you're like giving way too much room, and so then they tailgate you. It's really not FSD, I think. Most of the time when I'm complaining, it's FSD's following the rules as laid out by the federal government in the states. And it's all these other drivers who just refuse to kind of abide by what the rules are. So I'm going to force the car over. There's no reason for everybody to be hanging out in this left lane. See, I mean, look at this guy in this truck. Like, it's not your effing parking lot, bro. They're just oblivious. They just like, ooh, doo, doo. Oh, now he gets over. Yeah, it is embarrassing to be passed on the right. Okay, on we go. If I see anything exciting, I'll let you know. That was my little rant. I'll probably have a few more. Here we got a big old train going by us, folks. Isn't that neat? Wow. And we're waiting to see if our buddy here in the Ford's going to get over. No. Big long train heading into Longview. It looks like we got coal on one side and building supplies on the other. And we're gonna work our way over here all the way into this beautifully empty right-hand lane and give our vehicle a little bit of juice. See if we can get up around these people. Annoying, man. Like, this white minivan's okay, but these other people, what the hell? I think they just forget what lane they're in. And I found the biggest problem isn't necessarily the straightaways. What happens, right? People on a stretch like this, they'll get up and go speed real easy. And then you think, oh, well, they're going that fast. But then they'll come up on these corners. And every time, pretty much any non-EV or non-sports car or non-decent driver, people slow down hella through corners. And so it just consistently, they're not going at good speed. But we've got, about 50 miles to go to the supercharger. We're going to be pulling in. It's still about 17% state of charge. So we'll see if we can't burn up a little bit of this juice on the way there. And if the traffic gets exciting, we'll check back in. So here we've got Somaraski's compressors and another big industrial facility off to our left. The Columbia River runs right here, right, folks? So we've got the railroad tracks, which haul industry up and down the state, and then we've got the Columbia River, which we saw earlier in my other video, and they bring ships up here and can unload and load them. And FSD's neglecting to get over into a right-hand lane, so we'll initiate a lane change. So very, very cool. We're going to continue rolling up through here. We're heading into Kalama. So again, as cool stuff pops up, I'll bring you some views of it. Just thanks so much for joining us. We love having you on these road trips. I didn't see it. Well, I had to stop and pee in Kalama, so we're just rolling through here the main street. And we're going to hop back on I-5 here in just a minute. A lot of restaurants for one little strip of road. But I guess there isn't a lot going on between here and there. A motel. Probably gonna have to repass all the people I passed before. That's okay. Oh yeah, it must be up here. Like 2 miles. Construction company really likes to go the speed limit, I know that much. Oh, this is a nice little building. What is it? Oh, it's the police department. They really want to let you know as you roll out that they got a presence. And they have EV charging here in Kalama. I'm not quite sure what type. I'd have to look it up, and I'll maybe check it for you on PlugShare. I'll put it in the notes. Okay, here we are. So we don't have to stop. And the car thinks it's 25 miles an hour. I'm going to goose it up to 80.
No, it's to 70.
Changed to 70. Okay, good. So it did change. And we've got a semi-truck in front of us, a real short on-ramp. Semi-truck coming from behind. And the car should be getting over. The car should be getting over. Yeah, it just runs the lane out, but so did this guy. And I got, like I said, I got a semi-truck making a lane change to avoid coming up behind me.
God.
Yeah, another semi coming. So the car's just waiting to get over. And then we'll have some free lanes here. Okay, now we can go. Good, now it should make a couple lane changes for us. First one. And now we should get over again. Yep. Okay, that was well done. Except now we got this guy in the Camry. Wonderful. Okay, so we made it. Not real graceful. Still some work to do. And again, I'm on a version 11.3.3, so hopefully I get the update soon. Maybe he didn't like my fail compilation video I made. No, I don't think it matters. They want honesty.
Would not, and I was like, nope, that's the only time I'm doing it.
Okay, we are trying to get out of this rest area and onto I-5, and I'm having to goose the car, and it's not wanting to do anything.
Oh, I've been on that bus.
Come on, baby. It thinks the speed limit's 20. I got it up to 65. It doesn't even know we're on a freeway yet. So I'm having to goose it. I mean, what the hell? It just now recognized and changed. So this is another fail. Again, another fail merging here, and just unfortunate. Hopefully we get 11.3.4 and it's better, but I miss my navigate on autopilot. Tesla in front of us though, so that's cool. All right, we're back on the road, 23 miles to the supercharger. We're gonna get some lunch and a quick charge, and we'll check back in with you in a little bit. Good lane change.
What?
All right, we're gonna watch the car. We're going by a string of buses and trucks, so we'll watch it as it scooches through here. We're just outside of, I think that was Kelso. I'm not sure. We're passing exit 57 Jackson Highway. And we're in Lewis County. So here, yep, scooched over again. And then we'll get a break and it'll move back over into the middle of the lane. Very nicely done. And now we'll approach this truck and it'll scooch again. Yeah, this is a great spot to show this. Tesla. Yeah, very nicely done. And then we'll move back over. So a good example, that works good. The biggest complaint has been on-ramps and off-ramps and the navigation with the speed limits. So running out an off-ramp or an on-ramp, not getting on until the very last second, speeds being weird, going slow, confusing the other drivers when you're trying to merge. So just not been real great, but we've got about 2.5, 3 more hours of I-5 travel up north to go. So we'll bring you some more footage as we get there, and we haven't hit our first supercharger yet, so we're on our way to that. And we're rolling by Ritchie Brothers, which is a giant heavy equipment auctioneer place. Tesla, nice looking Tesla. Lots and lots of heavy equipment. They hold auctions here quite frequently, selling all kinds of things, box trucks, zoom booms, GD lifts, you name it, they've got it for sale. So a pretty cool place. About 9 more miles to go before we hit our supercharger, and we're in some kind of goofy traffic, so hopefully people speed up a little bit, and when we get there I will bring it to you. 96 miles to Seattle, 36 miles to Olympia, and Tacoma is in between those, so we'll have some great footage of the base and a bunch of other stuff. Hey, we got another big old train crossing underneath the overpass here. God, I'm getting froggy. Sorry about my voice. Very cool. That sucker stretches way back, double-decker. And we've got about 1.5 miles to go till we get to our supercharger. So we'll just let Amos navigate us the rest of the way. This traffic, folks, my gosh. It's like a 3-lane freeway and nobody uses the right lane. Everybody sticks in the left lane in the middle. Well, here it's 2-lane, but it was 3 lanes. But it is what it is. Gives us a chance to use up a little juice trying to get through this traffic. But it's usually literally like one person who says, you know what, I'm only going to go 4 over. It's all good. Okay, so Amos is going to have to make some moves. There's our supercharger there. We got our speed set, so we should be hopefully making a lane change. I'll be doing it for it. Lots of distance. I don't know why it's giving me so much follow distance. I guess that's probably the proper amount. You get so used to seeing everybody else that once you start to... Okay, so slow down. You need to slow down. Good. Slowing down. And now blinker. Good. Good. That way the traffic behind me knows I need to get over. Okay, that was well done. I'll give him the credit for that. Not the best, but okay. This gal's texting on her phone. It just, come on. They cannot get full self-driving and everybody on it fast enough. There's not enough people to do a good job. Alright, cool. Looks like we got some Walmart. I bet you there's an EA up here too. Burger King and a bunch of stuff to do. So hopefully we'll get pulled in, we'll get juiced up, and I need to make sure I plug this camera in because the battery's gonna die. I forgot to do that. Alright, looks like we got a green light. We've been preconditioning for fast charging, so for those of you that don't have Teslas, it's a really nice feature to have. I know some of the Hyundais are doing them now and Kias. It basically just warms your battery up so it charges faster. Batteries have a sweet spot they like to be in, temperature-wise.
Oh gosh, just go.
Okay, go. Well, it's giving it space between this guy and this truck here. Oh, that was nicely done. And then looks like we've got a right-hand turn up here. Okay, good. And in the past, it would try and dive into these turn lanes thinking it was a way to pass traffic, and so not doing that was good. I'm glad to see that. I don't know if we've been to this one before, to be honest with you.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Quinn, does this look familiar?
It looks familiar to me.
Maybe you guys have stopped here on your trip to get a bite to eat or something.
I think I did, but it looks really familiar.
Boy, it's way back there.
Yeah. There's a Wendy's.
Oh, the Wendy's is further away than they made it sound like it's close, but I always think a quarter mile is close, and then I think, oh, actually, it's kind of far to walk. Home Depot. Home Depot seemed to be always around these guys. Okay, we can take a right on red. There's nothing saying we can't. So again, I'm goosing it to encourage it to go. And so I'd say that's a quarter intervention. The car made a lane transition. Not quite sure why.
Roundabout.
Okay. Yeah, so that was a little weird. Coming into the roundabout here. And oops. Oh, that wasn't good. I took over. It popped out too far in front of that guy. So that wasn't too hot. I had to intervene there, and I missed my supercharger. So I'm going to come up here and turn around. So that was lame. Yeah. Okay. So we'll check back in a minute. All right, hey folks. We had a rough time using FSD to get to this supercharger, but we made it. It is a version 3, 8 stall, 250 kilowatt max Tesla supercharger here in Chehalis. As you can see, there's a Home Depot and a Taco Bell, a bank off the way. There's a Burger King across the street. And we've got some people playing organ music here, as well as a Walmart. And then finally, the Piste de Resistance there is an EV Go station across from the superchargers. So non-Teslas can charge up here in Chehalis. It looks like you got two 50s with Chatamo. I saw a Leaf charging earlier, and then two 150s that are probably closer to 80 kilowatt if you're sharing a cabinet. So there you go. We're in Chehalis, Washington. I know this is an FSD video, but I'm going to bring you our charging stops as we go too. Heading up north back to Anacortes from McMinnville, Oregon. So I just got the notification. Amos is all charged up, so we'll join you inside as we take off from here. And my wife's getting a little annoyed with FSD, so I'm going to do my best to bring you clips and keep her happy. Have a wonderful day, folks, and I'll catch you in the car. Okay, we're getting out of here. So I think we're going to try and power our way home. The car's got us charging in Burlington, Washington, which is literally like 15 miles away from our house with 12% state of charge. So I think we can do better than that. I think we can make it home, no problem. So we are going to do just that. And all right, we are off. So hopefully we won't have to stop for any more charges. And it wants to get over in this far left lane. I did that. Again, I'm not real patient with it. I'm going to let it do a few things, but I'm not going to let it mess up my navigation, particularly because I don't want to spend a bunch of time going around and around in circles. So we got a dual motor Tesla in front of us, Model Y, beautiful color. That was the color of our Model 3 TARDIS. I missed that car. I love the Model 3. Such a great car. It is seriously probably one of the best cars I have ever driven or owned. I really like the Model Y, but it's kind of chunky. The 3 was just svelte. Put it anywhere. But this has more range and power, so we can get further and do better road trips. And the passengers are more comfortable. We squeezed 2 kids into that back seat in the Model 3 to Yellowstone. And they survived, but it was a tight fit. And my daughter's the smart one. She puts her friend behind me because I'm taller, so there's less foot room.
Don't say that while I'm doing that right now.
All right. So good job. Nice left-hand turn. Let's see what it does on the on-ramp. Probably going to run the whole thing out and think it's 40 miles an hour. We got our stoplight. All right, we'll check back in when the light turns green. Okay, here we go. We got our green. Easy turn, it should be. What's not going to probably be easy is getting onto the freeway. So again, our speed limit is way too low, so I'm going to crank it up. There, it did change. It changed to 60, so that's good. And now let's see how we do merging here. Okay, we're clear. There's nobody behind us. Now the way the lanes are set up, it wouldn't let you get over. But now we should be signaling to get over into the fast lane. So that was me. I initiated a lane change. Okay, that wasn't terrible. I mean, it did what it was supposed to based on the way the lanes were laid out. So we'll give it a pass there. Probably first on-ramp, it's done halfway decent. But I had to initiate the lane change. So anyway, we'll check back in a little bit. We're going to follow our buddy in the Tesla. All right, so we're just rolling here. We've actually gained some range because I'm hyper-miling. I'm not really hyper-miling, but some of the best ways to maintain and conserve your range, especially when you're freeway driving like this, is to keep a constant, steady speed. The accelerating is what really gets you. So slowing down, accelerating, slowing down, accelerating. And then, sorry, I asked Amos to make a lane change and he didn't do it. That was a little weird. And of course I'm talking about hypermiling and there I go, accelerate. But you want to just ease in and out of traffic, and that's what I'm really trying to do. We've got 2 hours and 13 minutes to go, 133 miles, and we're at 79% state of charge. And the car thinks we'll get in with about 18% or 16 at this point. So I'm just actually going to kick our speed up just a touch. And I like to work that number. As long as I'm right around 10, 9%, it makes everybody in the car feel pretty comfortable. I don't mind it getting lower than that, it might, but we just want to maintain a nice, easy speed. And that's what FSD helps us do. So we're getting close to Olympia, and we're actually going to be passing through Tumwater. Tumwater is the place where Olympia beer came from. They're famous for their water, hence the name. So anyway, I'll give you a little facts about that, and we'll check back in when we get closer to Olympia and Joint Base Lewis McChord. So again, little tips on hypermiling there, or getting the most out of your range when you're going down the freeway. Another thing I like to do, I guess I forgot to mention, is we can duck in and then kind of hopefully find somebody going the same speed and then draft them a little bit so they're breaking the wind and we're not dealing with as much aerodynamic problems. Okay, I'll check in a little bit. So it's really that fast, folks. I literally went 3 miles at 80 miles an hour and we went up a hill, and I'm now down to 10% left when I get into Burlington, projected. So I like to play with my speeds, and you can move around in a small little area, but I watch this guy, and I can also watch my consumption here. 166 projected, and I need to go 128. So again, that's kind of what I pay attention to and how I manage my drive, and always watching our speeds and inclines, right? So I'll slow down if I know I'm going to be going up elevation. I'll speed up when I'm going down, but I want to speed up just enough so I can kind of coast, right? I want to be getting energy back as I go downhill. So really just enjoy road tripping in an EV, especially a Tesla with all this information at hand, because again, it's fun. It's like you're a captain of a ship. You're managing things. You're making sure you're watching your speeds, got enough juice to get where you're going, got enough miles. You know, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. It's better than a gas car where you're just whomping on it, not worrying about it because there's a gas station every 5 miles. So anyway, thanks for letting me rant and just share why I love this EV and love road tripping. And hopefully you're enjoying these FSD graphics. So we're in outskirts of Olympia and pretty quiet. So if we're lucky, we'll miss all the work traffic. Unfortunately, we just passed a big homeless encampment. We'll see if there's any more. Really kind of sad, but we can't find a place for them to stay. But unfortunately, a lot of them just don't want a place to stay. They like having their privacy as they think about it. So maybe instead of a place to stay, we could get them some mental health and medical help. I don't know. It just makes me sad to see people outside. Really sad, especially as wealthy of a country as this is. Alright, so we are approaching Olympia, as I've said. Nice big view. FSD is rocking. This will be a pretty good length video. Long until I run out of space on my thumb drive anyway. But we'll bring you lots of different examples and views and different things that are happening. Again, almost entirely I-5. In fact, it's been pretty much all I-5 after we got out of Oregon. And we'll take this up to State Route 20 and then we'll go over to Anacortes. Slowed my speed down. I've gained about 2% of my range back, so I'm back up to 12%. So like I said, as you see, as you manipulate your speed and pay attention to the geography, uphill and downhill, and the weather, if it's windy or rainy, depending on where you're at in the long trip, you can really kind of get exactly where you want to be. It just takes some paying attention, and I love doing that. It's the nerd in me. So we'll check back in a little bit. Alright, here's a great example of what I'm talking about. So I cranked my speed up. Notice I'm not using any energy or very little. I'm getting green a little bit. And I've gained back now to 15%. So again, I can play with my speeds. I'm going downhill so I can go faster. I can regain a little bit of power. And I just monitor and manage it. And then you average out at a pretty good speed. And you get to where you're going, typically, without a dead battery. So a lot of fun doing this. Oh, cool. Look, there's a big double military helicopter up there. Of course, I'm sure you folks probably can't see it. Well, maybe it might be coming across the mirror there. We're right close to Joint Base Lewis McChord, so we may see some cool stuff here on the freeway, military equipment and whatnot. Some old bridges, old steel bridges. Hey there, Mr. Smart. No, it's not Smart. And there's a little refinery down here called US Oil by Tacoma. They provide almost all of the jet fuel for US Joint Base Lewis McChord. And it's a good little facility. I think about 30,000 barrel oil refinery. And the rest of the jet fuel comes from for SeaTac and McChord and the other airports from Marathon and Shell and ConocoPhillips. Yeah, that is neat. I wonder where they're going. Hey there, Mr. Super. So, all right, we're going to keep rolling. Oh, I gained another 1% as I sat here and talked with you. And if I need to lower my speed, I will, but it looks like we're going uphill, but everybody's slowing down, so just naturally we're going to go the right speed. Okie dokie, folks. And we're coming up on DuPont. We'll just kind of let the camera run for a minute here as things go. Joint Base Lewis McChord running up here the next 6 exits. Traffic's a little bit thick. It's usually a little weird through here. I'd like to be in the left lane, but as you can see, it's kind of pointless. So I wouldn't be going any faster. People just, again, are camped out there. The car seems to think it might make a difference, though, so we're going to let it make a lane change. Okay. Very nicely done. Let's see if we see any military stuff as we cruise through here. A little Fiat. Can't wait to get to play with our Fiat 500e some more. So far, so good. A little congested, but not bad. Mainly, it's a lot of people moving around in the lanes through here because they don't know either where they're going or they get frustrated. And see, again, I appreciate the follow distance. It is safe, but people take a huge advantage of it. And I've got mid-turn. I'm following as close as it'll let me. I'm at 2. So, or at least I was. I mean, I haven't changed it, so I don't quite know. Yeah. I'm going to give it a little goose and see what it does if it speeds up a little bit. No, not really. You know, again, I mean, that is a good, safe follow distance, but then everybody takes advantage of you and they jump in front of you and then you just get slower and slower. Cool old military museum here. Yeah, isn't that neat? I need to go to that too. I haven't been since I was a kid. I think we went once with my mom and dad. We toured the Olympia beer factory too. I got a can of canned slugs. It was like some souvenir. It's just a can of water. A can of water with a label that said slugs on it. Well, I haven't seen any cool military equipment rolling through here. I'll throw a little music up over most of this, so it's not entirely boring to listen to. Found a great guy, Vlad Lushenko. A lot of really good music. All right, cool. We can get into a HOV lane. So I'm going to signal and tell the car to get over. That is one thing I have it set. I have it set to never use HOV lanes and to never take ferries or toll roads. And the reason I have it set that way is we don't have any toll roads in Washington, or very few. 405, there's a couple sections. Ferries, well, if I want to take a ferry, I want to know about it beforehand, not have the car figure it out for me. And HOV lanes, usually I'm commuting by myself, sadly. Luckily I've got an EV, but still, I'm still using a lot of energy with one person around. But that's why for the HOV. So there you go. This was going to give me even more conservation. Sitting here going 75, we're up to 16%. But we'll eat some of it up in the stretch between Seattle and Anacortes. So we'll check back in a little bit. Again, hopefully you're appreciating some of these views. I am right next to a Jersey barrier, and the car's not freaking out at all. Notice the ultrasonics aren't being activated. Again, I don't know if they're turned on or turned off at this point. I think they're still turned on, but things happen all the time with these updates. So we'll check back with you in a little bit, folks. All right, we are rolling through Tacoma. We're just on the outskirts coming into the busier area in the downtown. You'll see the Tacoma Dome and the Emerald Queen Casino here in just a little bit. The city center is about a mile away. We got Amos here in the middle lane, and we are set at good speed, so we're going to see what he does. Looks like we got an HOV lane coming up, so hopefully he wants to get over soon. Oh wait, no he won't, because I told him not to use HOV lanes. And as you can see, again, we've got this dilemma where the middle lane is going just about as fast as the left, but we're going to get over now. And I'm going to have him get into this HOV lane. And there we are. Cool. So we're going to roll HOV, high occupancy vehicle, and let's see how he does. Hopefully this was the right. Yep, good. He took the right lane. Not like the right lane, but the correct lane for what we're doing. Slowing down way too much though. Like nobody's behind us, fortunately, but that was a bit too much. Okay, good. And we're gonna come up here and merge. This is all relatively new. They've been working on this for decades. And they actually have it in a pretty good shape here. So this is nice. Good job, Amos. Normally it's a lot more congested in here, so this is really going well. We're going to see the Tacoma Dome here in just a minute or two. And if nobody knows, there it is right in front of us. The Tacoma Dome is the largest, or was, I think it still is, the largest wooden dome, at least in North America, if not the world. That might be a bit of a stretch, I'll look it up. But yeah, it was at one time and may still be the largest wooden dome constructed. Okay, so good job picking this HOV lane. This is really nice. I haven't been through here since they got most of this done. Oh yeah, okay, cool. It was a 60-mile-an-hour speed and it still thinks it's 50, but we'll give it a break. There's the Tacoma Dome. We also have the LeMay Auto Museum right here at the Tacoma Dome. Really cool auto museum. I need to get to it again. I haven't been in years and years. I got a lot of museums I need to go to. So that was really well done. Traffic is pretty light. Normally it's a little bit more of a cheek clencher through there, but that wasn't bad at all. So we just about got through Tacoma. We're going to roll down this way. We'll see the Emerald Queen Casino. And Poles Bowl will be up here not too far. You can get yourself an RV. There's the casino. Watch a little of the big screen as we go by. Some professional boxing. Okay, great. And I don't know if you can see in the distance there's a tower with a little light blinking and a couple white tanks off to the right of the freeway. Down there is Air Liquide. That is a control room for different gas manufacturing plants across Washington State. They can sit there in Tacoma and remotely control small gas plants in different industrial places across the state. Kind of a neat thing. As an example, there's an oxygen plant in the refinery at Marathon that is ran remotely from here. And then we can see the Port of Tacoma cranes there off to the left too for shipping, unloading and loading. And we're going to need to probably get around the Sprinter up here. Give it a little goose. And I'm going to go ahead and take over so we can get around, and then I'll check back in a little bit. There, looks like there might be some kind of road construction up ahead, so we're going to see what happens. Narrow lanes and shoulders. Pull under your butts, folks. Amos is coming in hot. We're in an HOV lane, and we're going to see what happens in these narrow spots. Oh yeah, nicely done. Okay, good. No, that wasn't bad. We're still just outside of Tacoma, so nothing terribly exciting. Back up to 80, we're at 15%. I was able to pass that van with a little bit of juice, so we're doing really good. May even get into Anacortes above single digits, so we will find out. And we will also probably see wild waves here in just a little bit, so if I see that in the distance, I'll get the camera back up. It is like one of the only outdoor water parks that we got, because the weather here isn't good enough to be open year-round. There's also some water slides in Birch Bay and a few other areas. But for the most part, because it's Washington, we got to stay inside. So we'll check back in a little bit, folks. Hey, and true to my word, here it is right here. It was literally like a minute and a half down the road. I just turned the camera off, spotted it, and turned it back on. Pretty fun place. We don't go too often because it's like a, an hour, or excuse me, a 2.5 hour drive to get to it, and then a 2.5 hour drive home, and so you don't have a lot of time to really play, and it's usually pretty crowded in the summer, so then you're waiting in line for the slides. It just seems like everything anymore is about waiting in line or getting a reservation first. Okay. Anyway, there you go, wild waves. Next major spot will be in his outskirts of Seattle and SeaTac, and I'll bring you that in a little bit. You can see this rig out the window, but it's all set up for aero. Very cool. Maybe cars inside. It was all tarped up and had big caps on it for aerodynamics. That was neat. We're approaching SeaTac. We're 82 miles from home. We've got about an hour and 25 minutes left to go. You can see they're doing some work on the light rail around here to haul people for Seattle. And the light rail actually gets better and better. It's almost all the way to Everett now, up north. And as you can see, it's moving further and further south all the time. So looks like we might be driving into some rain as well. You guys kind of close, but otherwise things have been going really well. We got 14% projected state of charge to get into Burlington with. So again, I think we're going to show up with probably 8 to 10% at home, but we'll find out. And I'm able to go a little faster because things have leveled out, and I'm in the HOV lane, so not many people are in my way, so I can just keep a nice steady speed. Oh, that looks like it might change up here. So we'll check back in a little bit. And then, so far, good FSD drive, besides on-ramps, off-ramps, and speeds. Yeah, SeaTac right up here. Alright, so we're passing Seattle International Airport, SeaTac, and we're in the HOV lane. It's a little bypass. So we're going to come back up here. We should merge back in with all the other traffic, although I think we got to keep our own lane here. And then we'll just roll for a little bit and see what's going on. Okay, yeah, nicely done. Not that that was all that difficult of a maneuver, but and we're stuck behind a Seattle Transit bus, so we may not get to go all that quick, so we're going to go ahead. Oh, we've got a car right beside us, right there, so we can't really get over. Yeah, but now we can. Yep, our buddy in the Volkswagen's going around us first. There's the Seattle skyline off in the distance. I'm going to signal to get out of this HOV lane because the left lane looks like it's a little bit quicker. And we'll just let Amos kind of take us here a little ways through the outskirts of Seattle, and then we'll kick back on when we get into Seattle. Alright, so far so good. So we're going to climb a little hill. And I'm curious if the express lanes are open. That might be interesting too. So we'll find out. Going through Seattle might be pretty cool. Alright, here we come up on some Seattle traffic. We've got digital speed limit signs. Let's see what the car says. It thinks it's 60 right now. Our lane should be changing to 45. And no change, which is fine. I'm not going to complain about that, but no change from the digital speed limit sign. So we're going to roll up here and see if we might be able to get into the express lane. We'll find out. HOV lane is the way to go so far, and we're just about to hit the Seattle skyline. And as you can see, everything's slowing down because it is Seattle, but it's only 2 o'clock on a Monday, so it shouldn't be all that bad. And no, I'm not going to go into downtown. This is strictly I-5 only. Okay. Good. Maybe a little more brake than needed, but not bad. There's a beautiful Seattle skyline laid out in front of us. And they even have some sunshine today, so they've got to be happy. There's our 2 stadiums. And the Space Needle and the Port of Seattle with all of its cranes. And this is also where full self-driving autopilot shines, right? Like if you had to do a commute where you're stuck in traffic all the time, oh my god, this just makes it wonderful. So you can just kind of not zone out, but again, you don't have to be white knuckle constantly worried. And the beautiful thing is there's even a coder in here, or in the neural nets, that the car will jump forward if it thinks somebody's going to rear end you. So, you know, it'll give it a little gas to get out of the way. It's pretty dang cool. Got a lot of tired people in the car who's been napping. But that's okay. It's actually gone pretty quick. We left McMinnville at just a little before 10, and it's 2 o'clock now, so 4 hours and we made it to Seattle. Pretty happy with that. Oh yeah, look at all this traffic. Ugh. You're okay, buddy. Just take it nice and easy through here. And we got some more digital speed limit signs up here ahead. We're going to see if we get a change again. We're going to watch to make sure nobody jumps out in front of us. So far nothing is registered. I'm going to turn my speed down. And no change to the digital speed limit signs. Again, I'm not going to complain about that, but it probably should. If it was a robo-taxi and there was nobody driving, it would get a ticket. So, hey, there's the Rainier Beer sign. That's the old Rainier Beer Brewery. It's now some kind of genetics laboratory, but they restored the sign. There was a big campaign to do that. And then also, I don't know about any of you, but Mountain Fresh Gin from Rainier doesn't sound super tempting. Alright, and this is, I mean, this autopilot did just fine too. I never really had any issues. Digital speed limit signs again. We'll see if there's another change. And if not, then we'll go ahead and cut this, and then I'll get back with you when we get closer to a place where we got to actually make some moves. And yeah, no changes in the speed limits. So we're going to go ahead and cut this here. We'll get back with you in just a little bit, or if something interesting happens. Yes, indeed, the express lane is going to be open. So we're going to see how Amos handles this. We'll want to take the express lane. We'll want to remain in this left lane, but if I remember correctly, he gets grumpy and can't read signs. Yeah, and I don't want to get out of this lane. So let's just see what happens here. Let's just see what happens. There's another speed limit sign. We're already going, or it's already set at 60, so there wouldn't be a change. going to want to take the expressway. Again, I don't think that he'll let us. Ugh, that truck cut in front. Good job stopping by Amos. A very safe follow distance. I mean, it makes you very comfortable. Nope, don't want to do that, car. And the way it wants to take isn't wrong. I would just prefer to take the express route. And it doesn't recognize that as an expressway. This is an expressway because it's not all the time. It's on and off. But again, robotaxi should be able to be adaptable, read signs, and make smart decisions based on those signs. And maybe I'm making a bad call. Maybe they know something and I don't, and it wants to take I-5 because it's faster, but I always feel like the express lane's the way to take. Now, technically it should be trapped here now. That's not a split lane or a double, a striped line. It's solid, so we'll see what it does. And it thinks it's going to be on Seneca, but it's not. Okay. At least it's not arguing with me too bad. Navigate on autopilot would have kept trying to get over and over and over. I would have to keep canceling it and canceling it. Okay. Good. It's following the traffic. Now let's see if it loses its marbles and doesn't know where it's at. So it should recognize that we're still on I-5. It's an express lane. We'll see what happens. Not much of an express lane. Oh, here we go. We're picking up now. Okay. Here we go. We gotta be picking up our speed. Good. It turned its headlights on. And let's just hope it knows what it's doing. Okay, so far so good. Okay, this I will say has been better than Navigate on Autopilot. The old Autopilot would have been arguing with me under here, or it would have been confused. Let's see if it continues to still know what it's doing. It says change lanes to follow route. I don't mind it doing that right now. Is it going to want to get off? That's the question. We don't want to get off of here. So far so good. Okay. Left lane is going to come to an end. Alright, and the car is... Okay, I'll take it. Well, what are you doing, car? Okay, I had to disengage. I don't know what it's doing, but I don't want it to take the wrong path here. Okay, so we're gonna take over for a moment here. And as soon as we can, I'm gonna get over one more lane. Well, that was too bad. All right, so the navigation was screwing up, but otherwise it did okay. Okay, I got us all squared back away here. We're back in full self-driving. The car still probably isn't quite sure where it's at, but that's okay. Let's see what it does yet here. I-5 is going to be over off to our right and to our left. We're in the middle of it. And let's see if it can manage this. Okay, good. We want to stick in this middle lane. That's perfectly okay. Anybody that's driven through here knows about this express lane, so you can see kind of the frustration that might be caused if you were coming through here using full self-driving. It would have gotten you where you wanted to go. It would have taken you probably the longer way, time-wise, maybe not distance. But as soon as it got on the expressway here, it got all confused. And I don't think it's the driving; it's the navigation. So good. Just about out through Seattle here. We got a little ways to go. allows the expressway to go in either direction. So good, didn't dive through there. Happens here. This is an left lane, also an exit lane, so hopefully the car doesn't try and dive off. It's gotten a lot better about that. It hasn't been doing that, but let's see. Perfect choice, really well done. And now if we stick with this HOV lane, it's going to come up here, it's going to re-emerge onto I-5, and there's some barriers that we have to make sure we don't run into, so we'll see how FSD does with that. And then we'll join you again here in a little while. And how are we doing? We got 16% projected state of charge getting home. So the car thinks we're going to use about 31 more percent. I think that's probably about right. Maybe use a little more next. I'll kick our speed up some. Man, I don't know if I'm getting a cold, but boy, yeah, my voice is just all froggy, so sorry if it's a little quiet. Good. Yeah, I might have to do the same thing in a little bit, bud. Looks like we got slowed down by a Prius. No offense, Prius owners. Some of you really haul ass, but for the most part I found that they're not usually something you want to get stuck behind. Alright, here we come where we re-emerge onto I-5, and let's make sure the car doesn't smack into these barriers. And then we'll work on getting around this Prius here. Okay, good. Oh, very well done. Alright, so the rest of this is pretty simple. If we get to more complicated maneuvers or something neat, I'll bring it to you. And here we are going through Everett. This is, again, historically where you'll see lots of congestion. It's a Monday at 2:30, so it's probably not going to be too terribly bad. But not too terribly great either. Just moving through here. We're still in the HOV lane. I had to disengage autopilot because, again, or full self-driving, whatever you want to call it. Because it doesn't make moves, right? Like, it'll just sit, and I understand that's what most drivers do. They'll just sit behind somebody else and, you know, maybe make a lane change here or there. But, like, I want to get down the road, so I had to disengage it because, you know, you got to make 3-4 lane changes, skip around, find spots, and then get back into this HOV lane ahead of everybody else that's going, like, 2 over the limit. So when FSD can do that as well, or Robotaxi, I will be super impressed because it saves time being able to frogger through lanes. But it doesn't yet, so that's where we're at. So we're just rolling through Everett. Looks like we got a Model 3 in front of us, in front of this Jeep. And I see brake lights. Let's find out what's going to happen up here. And we're still rolling. Everybody's pinching their brakes because they're worried, I guess. Maybe there's a wreck, I don't know. You don't need to be going this slow. Come on, misters. You don't have anybody in front of you. Obviously, we're going to watch, make sure nobody ducks in front of us, but so far, so good. Man, it was a good choice being in the HOV lane. I never understand why it's so congested through here, other than it's where the Highway 2 comes onto I-5 for the pass, but that's like way up here. And it's always a mess until you get to Marysville. Which can be kind of a pain because the rest area is about 10 minutes out of Marysville, and I have to pee now, so that means I got to sit through traffic and be tortured. But that's okay, we'll make it. It'd be nice if maybe they had like some SpaceX technologies in here, you know, so like you could use the astronaut bathrooms. Then you wouldn't even have to stop at the rest stops. But that might be in the future. Alright, let's see what's going to happen up here. What you crunching on back there, Quinn? Some ice? I just got headphones on. Okay, good. Probably go through here a little quicker if we wanted, but I get it. People are wanting to be on the safe side. Okay. Yeah, this is always just a stupid mess. That Tesla's a beautiful color, though. Okay, good. It's moving around in the lane quite a bit. I don't know why it's doing that for. Maybe because it's a big lane. Stay in your lane, Mr. Alliance Partition Systems. Excuse me. Oh, it's a reminder of the Burger King I just had for lunch. Oh, man, if traffic's like this the whole way, we'll get in with lots of battery. Ooh, look at that. That's a pretty Tesla. I like what they did across the back. They spelled out. Definitely love these cars, but you got to do something to make them your own because they all look the same. And I really feel sorry for those people who get white ones. I mean, I like the white, but like everybody has white. I would have paid for this color. I wanted it bad enough. It just happened that we were lucky enough for that 1 year to get it for free. In fact, we got really lucky buying this thing. I mean, we got it right before the price hikes. We got it right before the interest rates went up. We've been fortunate enough to be able to pay it off now, but we did really, really well. I was really happy. Oh, we got FSD for 8,000 or whatever it was, 12,000, not the 15, which I know some people are probably cringing, but I got it reserved on the Cybertruck for 8,000, and I had it for 3,000 on the Model 3. And I am a firm believer and agree every inch of my body that FSD should be transferable like a software license. You should only have to buy it once and move it through cars. Okay. That was a smooth stop. I mean, it didn't jerk us in our seats, but it could have been a little bit more anticipatory. Okay, exciting stuff. You can fast forward through this if you want, but I figured I'd bring it to you. We're getting all of the different types of freeway traffic using this latest version of FSD. Tesla, white Tesla. Fortunately, people have been pretty polite today. We haven't had a lot of like wackos diving around and cutting us off. All right, this is kind of boring. If something exciting happens, I'll bring it back. And we're about less than an hour away, about 40 minutes. Well, I'm not sure if any of that Everett portion made it, but we made it through the Everett traffic, and we're headed into Marysville now. So we'll be having a nice, easy stretch here. Hopefully, the rest of the way my camera froze up, and I had a little struggle getting everything squared away and fixed, but it's fixed now. Should be getting some juice. I'm going to stop and use the restroom, so we should have one more on-ramp, and then we'll be getting to Highway 20 here in less than about half an hour. So again, thank you for joining me. I hope the Everett stuff came through, but if not, it was camera issues, and I apologize. And as you can see, it's still not the best, but we're working our way into Marysville, so hopefully that will clear up once we get through there, and we can make it to Smoky Point in the rest area. Oh yeah, come on in, Mr. Jeep. Take advantage of my safe follow distance. Good, thank you. Wonderfully well done. All right. What a polite driver Amos is. I'll check with you in a little bit. Do not ask me about what changes with this bridge. For whatever reason, as soon as you get to this bridge, everything seems to clear up. Things start to move fine. I just can't figure it out. But Marysville and Everett, that little stretch is just a nightmare. But now we're free and clear, so we should be getting some decent speeds. Probably have a bunch of people camped out in the left lane because that's kind of the MO up here. And get you a good FSD video probably tomorrow after I do my editing. Well, here we are, 11 miles from Burlington. We're dropping into Skagit Valley. You can see the beautiful valley laid out before us. Plumes of the refinery steam off to the left. And whenever we go down this hill, we always know we're close to home. So I had to do some driving. The people on the I-5 up here, it just drives me insane. I can't take it because they camp in the left lane. So anyway, I had to shut FSD off. I had to move around, make some moves, get us where we need to be, but we're doing really well. We're gonna get home with 9% state of charge. Didn't have to supercharge except once at Chehalis, and I'm gonna get us off in Mount Vernon, and we will let the car take us the rest of the way home, and then we'll call this a wrap. So just a little bit more to go, and then we will be done with this road trip. So thank you so much. I always enjoy it when people watch these videos, so thank you. Okay, this is gonna wrap up I-5. I'm gonna exit off of here. I'm gonna disengage. Navigate on autopilot would take me down to Highway 20, but I wanted to go through Mount Vernon. So say goodbye to Interstate 5, 11.3.3. Hopefully the next time we're on it, we are using a newer, better update, because this one, no bueno. I am not impressed. But I think you probably picked that up from the other videos I made. So we're gonna go ahead and dive off of here. We'll stop at the light, and then we're gonna go through downtown Mount Vernon and head on home and see a little bit of Anacortes as well when we get closer to that. So we just got about 23 minutes and 31 miles to go, and I'm disengaging. I wanted to follow a different route. And as soon as our navigation picks up, I'll re-engage FSD. Oh, we gotta stop at a light. Yeah, well. Okay, we made it off I-5.
Yeah.
New Wendy's, a new 7-Eleven.
Oh, that's similar.
The 7-Eleven's been there for like a year, I think.
Yeah, it's been there a while.
Yeah, I've been watching it get built.
And the Wendy's, they put that in like at the end of summer.
Oh, interesting. And then this is going to be the new library, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, you got to wait your turn, car. All right, good job. So we're just rolling through Mount Vernon. There's a couple spots that are a little bit challenging, and then we should be good. Drive right by the police department. Hopefully they don't yell at us. Nope. Downtown Mount Vernon's a cool area. A lot of cool shops. Good restaurants. We never did get a stop at the rest area. It was closed, folks. So I'm a tortured individual. Maybe other people are too. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we'll maybe find a place we can pull off, like the Shell station on Highway 20. Ooh, Mr. Bus stopped in the middle of this intersection. Oh, for the railroad crossing. That was why. Okay. It's kind of funny. Oh, and this person's from Virginia in front of us. They came a long way.
Why would they want to go to this state?
Why wouldn't you? It's a beautiful state.
It's cold.
Yeah, that's true. Virginia's muggy. Hey, there's a little Hyundai EV, I think. Yeah, I couldn't catch what type it was. It's nice that there's so many coming fast and furious that it's hard to keep track of them all. Yeah, good job. And there's some weird lane markings up here. We'll see how it manages that. Hopefully I haven't run out of space on my SD card. Damn close. Hey, those are cute little scooters. Wasn't the Angry Badgers though. We have a motorcycle scooter club in our city, Anacortes.
My other house.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Somebody's at my other house.
Okay. So far so good. Now you notice through here the lane markings are really terrible. And the car typically does better if it has somebody to follow. If it's trying to go through here on its own, it does real bad. And there's a popo, so we're going to want to pay attention, make sure we don't do anything too weird. Car got awful close to his brush guard. Okay, a little weird, but oh yeah, it's never been able to make it through here on its own before. So that was really well done. Or if it has, it was a fluke because of just how weird the lanes are. Now, we should try it with no car in front of us. But there you go. We made it through downtown Mount Vernon, off to Anacortes. All right, here we are merging onto Highway 20. Let's see how this does. Should be about the same as it always is. We got a car coming in from behind us. Really would be nice if you're going a little faster. But overall,
I don't like how it rides us out the whole
not
way.
terrible. Yeah, it's just riding this out the whole way. Riding out the whole way. Never even made an attempt to get over. Now, I didn't try and make it to, but I wanted to see what it would do. So I guess the next time I'll try and force it over. We got a yellow. We're going to stop for it, hopefully. Yeah, good. I'm going to force it over into the right lane, because I can hopefully get a jump on this truck. So, thanks, folks. We will see you when we get into Anacortes. Alright, here we are. We're rolling up into Anacortes here. We just came across the Twin Bridges. You'll see the refineries in a moment.
I don't ever, this road is so dead.
It's really dead, yeah.
Wow.
One interesting thing, Amos said, indicated he moved over into the left-hand lane to stay out of the rightmost lane, and I believe it's because of that turn-on, turn-off there for the casino. So that's kind of interesting that the map data is paying attention to where rural routes like this, you may want to move over into the left lane because there's traffic getting off or coming on. It's kind of interesting. There's our refinery. That's the Sinclair, formerly Shell, formerly Equilon, formerly Texaco refinery there. And we're just rolling down the hill. Looks like we're going to be encountering a stoplight. And he's going to brake too hard. No, good, actually. That was nicely done. Alright, shocking. And we are just about into town. We're going to drop off Quinn's friend Savannah. She was just a wonderful person to have with us. We had a great time having her along. And then we're going to go check on our puppy dogs and put our dirty clothes away. Well, not our dirty clothes. We'll wash our dirty clothes. We'll put our clean clothes away. and then we'll do some editing and cleaning and whatever else it is you do when you get back from vacation. Nothing too terribly exciting to see here on the screen. Like I said, the road's pretty dead. Lots of occupancy network stuff here. Might get a couple of cars popping up as we pass the Ford dealership up here on the right. And then I'm gonna cut this off in just a moment because I'm going to take over, because the car doesn't have navigation inputted for where we're taking Quinn's friend. Oh yeah, you can see some of the cars from the car dealership there in the occupancy network. And here we are on down the hill before we hit the roundabout. So we'll check back in with you just about when we're home, and then we'll call this a good road trip video. Alright, we just dropped off Savannah and we're headed home. Making the turn onto commercial. And the car's thinking about it, probably okay, it didn't go. Now it can though. Yeah, hardware 4 definitely needs to come. It's got to creep way too far out. There we go, we got a green light, so it finally got to go, but that was ridiculous. Needs more forward-facing vision. Just really can't get around that. So we'll roll up here. I know we need to get into a left-hand turn lane and make a left-hand turn, and then I think I'll bring you guys a water shot and call this a good video because you've seen everything else. Please leave in the comments if there's someplace new you want me to go test out. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of be left to my own devices, and I'll find good places. But I think these new updates are going to be a lot of playing on the freeways, because we can see city driving is, you know, like 85% there, but the freeway stuff, oh my god, it's got a ways to go. And it'd be nice if autopilot could, or full self-driving could anticipate a little better. You know, as a driver, a human driver, we're always paying attention to the little subtle cues being given off. Nope, get over. You were okay. Alright, there you go. we're always paying little cues given off by other drivers, and the computer doesn't quite pick up on those. So it's a little late to the party when things happen. Okay, good. Nice, easy peasy turn. There we are, we made it through. Nice little Tesla. We blacked out their chrome, that looks nice. And okay. So I'll bring you a shot of the water, and then we'll call it good. And here we are, we're making one of our last turns into the old homestead, into Skyline. Oh, ballsy. Whoa, yeah, that was really ballsy. I wasn't expecting the car to do that. I was just gonna say goodbye. Nice move, it made it, but very brave. Oh, this is pretty with the blossoms coming off. So, successful trip. It actually was amazing. We made it all the way from Chehalis here on a single charge, and that cost us about 23 bucks, and then it was about 6 bucks to top off at the whole hotel last night. So we went from McMinnville, Oregon to Anacortes, Washington on under $30 worth of energy and a single supercharge, using FSD most of the way. Look at it slowing down for the speed limit sign, I guess. That was weird. Man, who knew we'd see all this weird stuff on the last little segment? But overall, as you can see in the clips, still got some work to do, so we'll be bringing you those as the updates come. We're going to come around this corner here. You're going to see some beautiful water and blue sky and clouds. Nice to be back on the San Juans. And I just, again, appreciate everybody joining me. So I'd love it if you'd hit that like and subscribe. As the channel grows, we'll be able to do more and cooler things. And I just, again, appreciate all of you. So have a wonderful day, and thanks for joining us on this trip.